We are going to look at finding our exponential equation function using a graph. Really, it's the same thing as using a table. So before, when we were doing linear equations, we would draw like a triangle and we could figure our rise and our run. The issue with exponential functions is our slope is not constant. Okay, our slope is changing constantly, which is actually what an exponential function is instead of having a constant slope, what we have is a constantly changing slope. So don't worry about that too much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at my graph, and I'm trying to find a function f of x is equal to a times b to the x power. And so the x is just going to stay, so we just need to find the a and we need to find the b. Well, remember a is our initial value. And while this graph does go into the negative, we are only looking at the positive. And so as far as our initial value goes, let's look at this a little bit more. But it's going to be this point right here at 0, 3. And another way to look at this is f of 0, right? F of 0, we plug in 0 for x, equals a times b to the 0. Well, if we look at b to the 0, what is b to the 0? B to the 0, remember your properties of exponents, b to the 0 is the same thing as 1. So that's 1. So f of 0 equals a. F of 0 is equal to a. And so it's just like when we were finding the y-intercept before. If we plug in 0 for x, it's going to give us our initial value. So that is at 0, 3. So we know then that a is 3 for this equation, or for this function. So we know that f of x is equal to 3 times b to the x. And now we just need to figure out b. And remember, b is our constant rate of change, or our geometric rate of change, is what we multiply by. Okay, so let's see if we can figure this out. Let's put in a table. And we're going to say this is our x and this is our f of x. We know that when x is 0, f of x is 3. And then I gave you another point on the graph because being able to determine where the points are from the graph is a little bit difficult. And even in the book, when they ask you to do this in the book, except I can't currently see any of those examples, they'll give you points to look at. So really, you're doing the same thing as if you're on a table. If x is equal to 1, then f of x is equal to 9. And right here we have an increase of 1. And in here, remember, for exponential functions, we're not looking, this is plus 6, but we're not looking for that. What we're looking for is what would you have to multiply or divide it by to get to the next value. And to get from 3 to 9, we have to multiply by 3, right? And so that is going to be our b value. So now that we have our a and our b value, we can plug that all in, and f of x is going to equal 3 times 3 to the x. Okay. And I think we'll do one more of these just to kind of help you get comfortable with it.